Talking about the down to earth 16 to 31st December, this time we have again a recap of the honey that was discussed in the last edition. Bees have been one of the major pollinating species which account for 90% of the total pollination that occurs, and recently there has been overuse of neonicotinoid, which is one of the pesticides that has been used mainly on the flowering plants, and this is responsible for collapse of most of the bee colonies. United States Environmental Agency has explained that 12 types of neonicotinoids have been banned. Also, there have been various brands under which honey is sold. However, in European Union, it's believed that honey obtained only from Apis mellifera is a only official honey that could be sold in the markets. In India, we do not have one such brand that we are restricted to. Indian honeybee, rock bee are some of the bees, which is Apis cinerea, Apis dorsata are some of the species through which we obtain honey. Now coming on to COVID, this has been one of the fastest growing pandemic ever since in history, which has spread to whole of the globe within 71 days, and within less than 1 year it has infected more than 67 million people, killing nearly 1.5 million population. So a significant economic impact based on a health crisis has been witnessed for the first time. A lot of people have shifted towards the extremes of poverty, and it's believed that nearly 115 million people would become additional poor this year. The poverty increase would increase from 1% to 8% within a year. Nearly 46% of the workforce which are at present school students or under age of 5 would be becoming the future workforce by 2040. So a lot of school dropouts would be seen, a lot of underage employment, and the problems of child labor again starting to rise. Also, 90% of the nations would have reduced GDP. If we talk in terms of working hours, 9% loss of the working hours has been seen in 2020, which is equivalent to 245 million full-time jobs. So there has been a significant loss. Also, if we talk about children less than 1 years of age, 80 million children have been exposed to diseases which could be cured by vaccination schedule, but due to lack of vaccination, nearly 80 million children would be affected. There could be a global resurgence of polio, where we believe nearly 2 lakh new cases of polio could be seen in another 10 years. Also, because of the significant use of remdesivir, which is an antiviral which is previously used for mainly used for HIV, has now been used for COVID, and there could be therefore a shortage of the drug, which could lead to increase in the mortality of HIV patients by 10%. Nearly 50 million people have been affected by climate related emergencies. These could be floods, drought, climate related migration. Vanuatu, Nauru are some of the examples that we have discussed in some of the other classes. The next important study is on Changpas. Now, Changpa is one of the major nomadic tribe which are pastoralists living in the Trans-Himalayan region of Southeast Ladakh in the Changthang region at a height of nearly 4,500 meters. And they have the Changthai goats, from which you get the world famous Pashmina wool or the Kashmir wool. And the population can be seen when the season is optimum. However, with changing fluctuations, you have snow blizzards, extreme cold and extreme heat conditions which Changthai goats cannot tolerate, and there have been reportings of sudden death or sudden shock deaths of Changthai goats because of that. Also, the people here live in the Rebu tent. Now, this Rebu tent is interesting. It is made originally of yak wool. However, due to shortage of the yaks in the region nowadays and changing patterns, people are now moving to army tents. So rather than the wools being made by yak, the tents being made by yak wool, the Rebo tents made of yak wool, they are now using the army tents that have been there. So that's again important. Now, in this year, the region of Jammu Kashmir apple production witnessed a severe fungal infection, and that was known as the scab disease. Now, Sopore district in Jammu Kashmir is one of the largest fruit mandis across Asia. The main reason that has been witnessed for this scab disease this year is the extreme snowfall which occurred last year, along with a very wet March and April season, which led to growth of spores and fungal infection. So a high amount of apple production was infested. Also, we have seen a significant loss in the rainforest in Brazil. It is believed that rainforest of an area of up to Jamaica has been destroyed within a period of only 1 year, and this has been significantly high. In terms of area, we could say nearly 11,000 kilometers of area has been deforested. The next is the National Vulture Conservation Action Plan 2020-2025. Now, 2006 was the time we had the first action plan for vulture conservation. Why it came up? Because the vultures were feeding on cattle carcasses, and these were being treated with diclofenac. Diclofenac is an anti-inflammatory which is being used to treat the sick cattle and to increase the production of milk. However, later on it was believed that this is one of the major reasons for declining vulture population and kidney failures in vultures. So there was a shift and the use was restricted. So it was believed that it would be lying in the Schedule H of the drugs. That means the veterinary use of the diclofenac would be banned, and this would not be allowed without a written doctor's permission. The recent plan talks about shifting it to Schedule X, which says that it makes it mandatory for a chemist to retain a copy of the prescriptions against which the diclofenac is sold. So this would check the illegal marketing. However, it is in itself not a sufficient step. Besides this, there have been other drugs like nimesulide, aceclofenac, ketoprofen, which have been also responsible for the declining vulture population, but those have not been added to the conservation plan list. There have been 8 breeding centers for vultures, which are very important, you must know. So we have the list there. Also, promotion of safe drugs have been talked about, which is melicozim, meloxicam, and toliphenamic. So those are the 2 important drugs which have been considered as relatively safe, less toxic for vultures, and if the proportion is less than 1% in the body of vulture, that is a tolerable limit that won't affect the declining population of the vulture. Now, categorizing vultures, there are 9 species, 6 of which are present in nearly all the states of India, of which red-headed vulture, long-billed vulture, slender-billed vulture, and oriental white-backed vulture have been critically endangered. Breeded and Himalayan vulture are near threatened, and Egyptian vulture is the threatened species. So all of them either threatened, near threatened, or critically endangered. None of them in the abundant list. The next is agriculture. India has witnessed a record agriculture this year in the Kharif season. Despite of the pandemic and the lockdown, the Rabi cropped area has increased by 4%. But despite of all this, we have seen the blooming protest by the farmers this year. Now the distress among the farmers have been on a rise since the last 5 years. So that is how we understand the changing geography of farmer protest. Now the distress has increased. In Assam, we have seen 9 agitations in last 2 to 3 years. We have nearly 37 different cases of agrarian unrest which have been seen in Assam. Manipur, Tripura, where no farmer protest had been recorded up till 2016, have reported repeated agitations in the farmers. Also in Goa, we have seen in February this year they had the protest that was seen, and bringing corporatization is another major issue. Now, the next major focus of this edition is changing diet plan. We know that plants are good absorbers of carbon dioxide, but when they decompose, they release a significant amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. United Nations Environmental Program along with WWF, EAT and Climate Focus have come up with a study which says that we have nearly 1/4 of the production that comes every year, which is because of the human activities and which is responsible for greenhouse gas emissions. So if we look onto the distribution here, the food and the non-food distribution, we have nearly 26% of the greenhouse global emissions coming from the food sector, of which if we can see, most of them are for the changing land use for livestock, the crops for human food and livestock, which is mainly the beef, as we will see in the next section. Also, by 2050, nearly 10 billion people would add up. So this would also add up to increasing amount of greenhouse gas emissions. Packed food, imported food are mainly responsible for it. And also, as we would see in the next slide, beef is one of the products which is mainly responsible. So meat and related industries have been highly responsible for more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So we have a plan of shifting towards mock meat, that is the meat which is being derived from plants by ultra processing methods. Now these ultra processing methods use genetically engineered methods which are again harmful and they are not considered as healthy as they should be. Also, lowering of the emissions of carbon dioxide equivalent have been very important. We have certain statistics that would be available in the handouts, so kindly go through that to get a detailed idea of the amount of emissions that have been there. And also, more than 820 million people have insufficient food or low quality diet, which is responsible for micronutrient deficiencies in the people, and this would lead to diet related obesity problems. So obesity is on a rise. With rising obesity, you have the lifestyle diseases like heart problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, etc. growing up. So here is the amount of greenhouse gas emissions, as you can see. So you have beef, lamb, beef, chocolate, coffee are some of the major industries which are highly responsible for greenhouse gas effects. Now nearly 9 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions could be curtailed by shifting the diet patterns, changing the production practices, moving from a meat based to a plant based food habit, and bringing in more fruits, vegetables, nuts into the diet and doubling their consumption. Also, reducing the consumption of sugar and red meat by more than 50% would be responsible for it. Now, if we talk about the countries with highest food emissions, those are Sudan, Brazil, China, and of course India with a huge population. We have national dietary guidelines that have been established, which says Australia, Argentina, Canada are some of the countries which have highest per capita food emissions. However, India, Indonesia are on the planetary boundary line. That means we are among those which have the lowest food emissions in the world. An interesting thing happened in November 2020 when Danish government promoted vegetarian food for at least 2 days a week and limiting the consumption of lamb and beef just to 1 day a week, and that would be an idea to reduce the diet based carbon footprints that are being released into the atmosphere and aiming to reduce carbon footprints by nearly 70% by 2030. However, with trade union backing, this program was not successful. Similar studies we have seen in other countries. In UK in 2016, nearly half of the animal feed was imported from Latin America. Now, since it was coming from Latin America, what was at risk? The Amazon rainforest, and a depleting rainforest means a huge amount of carbon sink which was previously there has been removed. Also, we are moving towards vegan diet. Now, when we are talking about vegan diet, companies are acquiring fake meat companies. For example, Unilever acquiring vegetarian butcher. Now, this is a plant-based meat market. As we said, plant-based meat market is also known as mock meat, which is ultra processed, is said to have relatively very high amount of carbon footprints. Genetically engineered yeast are used to flavor it. You have soya bean, which is one of the major things which is genetically modified both in UK and in US, and those have been responsible. So if we talk about a proposed healthy diet plan, that would include nearly 40% of fruits and vegetables, along with 18% of dairy, 9% of vegetables, 3% of animal protein in the diet. So significant reduction in the animal protein is required. Also, we have seen that 10% of the countries, 64% of the global population account for a significant amount of carbon footprints through food emissions, and this has to be reduced to less than 40% for those countries. Now, if we talk about country like Malawi, Malawi is one of the nations which has a higher consumption of uh, processed kind of direct food consumption, and the idea is to shift the diet to dairy, fishes, fruits and vegetables, and to reduce the overweight population which is there due to high fat and sugar intake. Also, Sweden is emitting nearly double the carbon emissions of Malawi, and the idea to reduce that proportion in Sweden can be brought about by curbing the red meat by 90% and dairy products by 69%. So two of the industries where maximum amount of processing is required. A very good interesting study, another study is about malaria. India's worst hit malaria affected district is Malkangiri in Odisha, and a recent drive of zero malaria has been witnessed where by December it would be a district with zero malaria. How it happened was proper planning and implementation. So you had the long lasting insecticidal nets that were distributed, rapid diagnostic kits were released. Also, the villages, the Gaon Kalyan Samitis were put at alert. Regular DDT spraying, bush cutting has become a new normal and a habit in the population. Malkangiri is one of the most backward districts in India, and as per the population, we can see nearly 57% account for tribal population in this region. Also, nearly 61% of the population lives below poverty line, but attaining this was not impossible. 2020 has been a landmark where malaria cases have been dipping significantly day after day in Malkangiri. So there has been an initiative which is Daman, Durgam Anchale Malaria Nirakaran, which says that malaria control in the inaccessible areas, mainly in Malkangiri, Koratpur, Raigad, Kalahandi, Nopada have been some of, then Gajapati and Kandamahal have been some of the areas where this project needs to be successfully implemented for malaria control. The next important aspect is on plastic waste. Now, there has been a new proposal on extended producer responsibility on plastic waste. In India, the rag picking workers are not given PPE and proper equipment. There is no waste segregation at the source, and a lot of household waste which is generated through diapers and other sanitary waste has caused a significant amount of hazardous waste which is not classified as a biomedical waste, despite the fact it contains blood and body fluid. So there has to be a significant change in the rules that should come up, and a detailed study of understanding a proper disposal with providing PPE and security kits to the safety kits to the workers is essential. The next is Sarna Adivasi Dharm. Now, Sarna means those who worship nature. Scheduled tribes have been separately mentioned. However, Jharkhand state is asking for a separate religious code for tribal population in the census 2021. This has been raised in the recent September month, and the idea is so far Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism, and then you have a category others. So all those tribals who are not falling in any of the categories would be entered as others. However, what happened from 1871 to 1951, there was a separate category for tribal population. So Jharkhand government is saying that when tribals have their separate identity, why not in the case of religion? Why not there is Sarna or the nature worship religion? So far they are either classified as Hindus, Hindu converted Christians, or they are classified, those who are worshipping neither of the religions are classified or by default put in the category of Hindus. So there has to be a separate category, and that's what is the demand of the Jharkhand state. So those were some of the key highlights that we have discussed in this edition. We would be covering down to earth every fortnightly, and stay tuned with our community page. We are posting important news clippings on a daily basis which are highly important for your exam preparation, and some of the very interesting concepts are being brought about there. So stay tuned for updates from our side. Have a wonderful day ahead.